So I'm at work, and a few minutes after I punch in, a coworker walks up to me who I would personally describe as my most annoying coworker and says, "My personal favorite conversation starter for first thing on a work day, which is, sorry if this is too personal, but do you use the men's or the women's restroom here?" The actual answer to this question, of course, is I use the Starbucks across the street because I'm not interested in navigating these conversations with my coworkers, which I tell him, not in so many words. But it turns out that he was actually being conscientious because apparently there was an incident of some kind over the weekend and they had to change the code to the women's restroom. So he wanted to make sure I knew it in case that was something that I needed to know, which is a kind thing, regardless, not navigating any of the politics around us having to have keypads on the restrooms at work to begin with. But regardless of that, is a kind thing for him to consider. This is the same coworker who last year, when the only form of feminine gender expression I was partaking in openly at work was wearing eye makeup, said something to me along the lines of, "Oh yeah, thanks, man." And then a few minutes later came back to me and said, "Hey, I'm sorry if that offended you. I don't know if that's something that you prefer people not to call you," which to this day is still the only instance where a coworker has taken it on their own volition to ask if I would prefer for them to not use masculine forms of expression when speaking to me or about me. Um, Most of my coworkers still call me sir, regardless of the fact that I show up to work every day with full makeup and a maxi skirt and have visible tits. So, like I said, this guy is probably my most annoying coworker, one of my least favorite people to interact with in my daily life. Just very loud, very obnoxious. Um, Chews loudly with his mouth open in the break room, microwaves incredibly stinky sandwiches at work every day. I have to vacate the room if he is taking his break in the same room that I am. But still, to this day, is the only one of my coworkers, again, to express on their own any amount of curiosity or recognition of the fact that my gender identity over the past recent span of time has changed in the workplace. So it just goes to show that you can't pick and choose your allies. So